So I'm doing a thing. So I play Call of Duty Zombies a lot. It's probably the game that I've played the most growing up as a kid and then into my adult life. And on previous YouTube channels, I've done rankings of every Zombies map. But this is the ultimate ranking. We're doing every single Zombies map from World at War to Black Ops 6. Non-Treyarchs are included. The only thing that's not here is Extinction. That's not zombies. I'm sorry if the green screen is gonna look terrible. I'm not good at green screening things, so I apologize. So I actually haven't played all of these zombies maps in a while. I'm not currently up to date with every single one of them. I haven't played freaking Ascension Black Ops 1 recently. But I'm going to go ahead and rank them off of my knowledge of them at this point in time. And then I plan on going through and playing every single one of them eventually. And then I will re-rank them to see how they hold up now. So we have 61 maps to rank from worst to best. So this is going to be a long one. At number 61, the legitimate and official worst zombies map of all time is Duran Fong. You're never gonna convince me that this is not the worst map. Like, there's genuinely nothing you can do to tell me otherwise. Like, I've got my notes right here to kind of like go through each map and say the things that I like and don't like about them. And this one just has a sad face. Like, that's it. Terrible game, terrible map, terrible engine, terrible perk system, terrible objective system, whatever the hell they were trying to do. Yeah, just straight garbage. Do not go and play that game. I would, if I have to go back and play it again, you're gonna have to do a lot for me to do that. Yeah, it's just straight poop. Never want to touch that game again. Never. Map, game, none of it. All right, at number 60, the second worst map of all time. This used to be the worst until Duran Fong came out, but it's Infection. This is Infection from Advanced Warfare. This came out in 2015. Some of you weren't even born yet. But this map is got to be, like, I know Duran Fong is god-awful, but this map is just, there's no point in ever playing this map. The engine just of Advanced Warfare Zombies was just not good at all. The guns are super weak, for one. Like, you have 25 pack-a-punches. Is that what it is? You have to pack-a-punch your gun like 25 times for it to reach its like max potential, and it's still not good at all. The Easter egg is stupid. All of Advanced Warfare's Easter eggs are stupid, honestly. There's survivor rounds where you have to like go escort your grandmother from one end of the map to the other, and if you don't do it, then the game ends. And then I'm pretty sure by round 30, the map just locks you into a sewer with like an alligator, and you're literally just stuck there for like the rest of the game. The Easter egg, you're making a hamburger. Why? So yeah, garbage tier. If Vanguard never released, this would be the worst map of all time. Moving on. All right, coming in at number 59, the Tortured Path from World War II. This map is pretty much just like 3 or 4 survival maps like put together, and you just have to do objectives to move to the next one. And this was still back in the day where you had to pay for DLC. So you couldn't get to the next map without completing whatever the Easter egg was for the first one. If you're someone who plays casual zombies, like doesn't do Easter eggs and just plays the game, do not buy the DLC for World War II. Rest in peace to your $15 if you did. You have to do like these stupid Easter egg quests that are just stupid hard for no reason to go from one map to the next. And then once you're done with it, there's no reason to replay it because all you have left are a bunch of survival maps with no personality. And I think they're all just multiplayer maps, to be honest. Yeah, it's just god awful. Please don't ever play that. All right, next on the list, number 58 is The Beast from Beyond from Infinite Warfare. It was DLC 4 for Infinite Warfare, and it's just bad. It's pretty much just Extinction. Need I say more? At this point in Infinite Warfare, the game was just they just I don't think they cared at this point, which is weird to say because after this map you get the greatest boss fight like of all time, or boss fight mode with Mephistopheles, and I don't know how that even came from this map. It's just like stupid hard, but it's not even one of those things where it's like, oh, it's replayably hard. It's not fun at all. And the Easter egg is just poop. All right, next, number 57 is Alpha Omega. I genuinely hate Alpha Omega so much. This map has literally aged like milk. Super ugly. Like, probably one of the ugliest zombies maps I have ever seen in my life. It's just green and gray. The Easter egg is, like, super boring and, like, almost pointless. Honestly, all of BO4 Aether storyline is pointless, but I'll talk about that at another day. Speaking of pointless, the Wonder Weapons are also pointless. Because in this map, you have the Ray Gun Mark IIs, and there's upgraded abilities for them, and the base Ray Gun Mark II is better than all of the upgrades. So, what's the point? And this is also the map that you can have no power and get to round 100 with a freaking ballistic knife. Once again, why? All right, number 56 is Bus Depot. There's not much explaining to do with Bus Depot. It's literally like the worst survival map. It's just, I don't understand the purpose of it. Like, I get it. It's like trying to be like the Nocturne and Toten of Black Ops 2 or whatever. But at that point, just go play Noct. There's no reason to play Bus Depot. The map layout is not good at all. No perks, just a mystery box and one door, and I think the percentage of getting the Ray Gun Mark II on this map is like 0.01%. If you've ever made it past like round 30 on this map, then I don't even know what else to tell you. All right, number 55, we have Terra Maledicta. It's Vanguard. I get it's better than Duran Fong, but that's not saying much at all. I think they introduced the ray gun into this map, and it was bad. And 54 right after it is the Archon, whatever it's called. I have no idea. It's literally Terra Maledicta, but it's like a different color. I think it has like a couple of different things in it, but like the base of the map is still the same thing. And then you have like a shield as your wonder weapon. I don't think that was in Terra Maledicta, so it's a little bit different. Number 53 is the Frozen Dawn from World War II. This is just, once again, World War II DLC just not being good. I'm pretty sure this was DLC 4, and it's just so hard for no reason. Like, no casual player could literally just load in to this map and make it, like, past the first, like, 5 rounds without just giving up, because you literally have to do a quest to do everything. Like, if you want perks, you have to do a quest for it. If you want to open a door, you have to do a quest for it. And it's stupid dumb. And it's like really dull and just like fog and gray and just nothing. And also Fortnite. Yeah. At number 52, we have Forsaken from Cold War. Now, this is just super disappointing because I feel like Cold War maps are some of the maps that have aged really poorly over the last few years. And Forsaken is the worst map, and it's just because it's so lazy. Like, this is probably the laziest map design, like, out of every zombies map. Like, you just have, like, a street, and then you teleport to, like, another street, and then you teleport again to another street, and then that's it. The only redeemable thing about this map is the Crystal Axe, which is a really cool wonder weapon, and I think that's one of the first, like, just pure melee wonder weapons that have been in zombies, so it's pretty cool. All right, and then at number 51, we have Operation Deadbolt, which is Modern Warfare 3 zombies. this is just, it's not zombies. This is not at all what zombies was supposed to be. If you like DMZ, then I guess you kind of like this, but it's just not really that good. If it was PvP like DMZ was, it would probably be a little bit more enjoyable, but just like doing quests and then you exfil and nah. And then following that same thing at number 50, we have Outbreak from Cold War. This was Treyarch's attempt at getting that open world objective style of zombies map, and it flopped. I feel like it just didn't have any personality to it. Like, it was literally just like, oh, here's you a random spawn point in the middle of an open field. Do this one thing, and we're gonna move you to a snowy biome with nothing in it, and you're just running through trees, doing another objective, and then rinse and repeat. The only thing good that came out of Outbreak was Zoo. Zoo is GOAT tier. The Easter egg was okay. Boss fight was, they had 2 of them, which is, I think, one of the only zombies maps that has 2 boss fights. I think there's like 2 more. I don't even remember. And number 49, we have the Darkest Shore from World War II. Just more World War II DLC. This is actually DLC 1, and after the Final Reich, which was actually a pretty good map, people had a little bit of expectations for if this map was going to be good or not. And it was not at all. The map is 1 pixel, and it is just 1 shade of gray. Forget 50 shades of gray. In World War II Zombies, we had 1 shade of gray. And that was it. Once again, one of those type of things where you just have to do a side quest or like a side Easter egg to just do anything in the map, which for a casual player or even just somebody who just wants to sit down and play zombies and not have to do 10 different things just to get Jug, it's not fun at all. Nobody wants to do that, Sledgehammer. The Wonder Weapon was just trash. I don't even remember what the name of it is. You'll have some Wonder Weapon gameplay on the screen, so nice. And then number 48, we have Attack of the Radioactive Thing from Infinite Warfare. This was DLC 3 from Infinite Warfare, and it's not terrible. I'd say this is probably where we move from just like the god-awful maps into like you can play it. I don't know why you would, but you could find something out of it. Super ugly. Same thing with like Alpha Omega. Like, it's just green and gray. Which I get that's the aesthetic that they were going for because it was based in the 1950s, but I don't understand why you would want your zombies map to just look ugly. The Wonder Weapon was just whatever. Like, I don't think it was good, but it wasn't like garbage either. It was just kind of there. And then the Easter egg, you literally need a PhD in chemistry to solve half of these steps, and it's ridiculous. And this map was very poorly received on launch, not only just because it was not a good map, but Zombies Chronicles, I think, released like a week before this. I don't even think they released a trailer until like the day that the map came out. A lot of people didn't even know that this map existed because everybody was playing Zombies Chronicles. At number 7, we have Firebase Z from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And this map is just, it's depressing that it's so low. Because coming off of D Machine, which was a really good map, this map just literally had 0 personality at all. Which is sad because this is one of the only like originally made zombies maps for Cold War. Like, this wasn't a multiplayer map or a Warzone map or anything like that. This map was literally made for zombies, and it just was not good. The Easter egg was super boring. It was really tedious and just not that fun. There's so many boss zombies, like the mimics. Just spawned all the time, and they were ridiculous. The lockdown rounds, or I don't remember, is that what they were called? The aura rounds? I don't even remember. Where you had to like defeat the big boss like every like 10 rounds or whatever. I did not like that at all. And then the one redeemable thing that was really, really, really good about this map was the Ray K, but they nerfed it like to the ground. It's still a usable Wonder Weapon, and it's still pretty good, but I will never understand why we are nerfing things in a PvE game mode. Who is getting the competitive disadvantage when I'm using something that's overpowered? Like, genuinely, are zombies complaining to the developers that I am too overpowered in the game? In a game mode that the goal is for you to become the most overpowered version of yourself. Number 46, the Shadow Throne, another World War II DLC. Now this it's bad, but it's one of the better World War II maps. And to me, the only reason why it's good at all is because it's like just a watered down version of Gorod Krovi. It's that same kind of like, it was set in Stalingrad and just trying to base off this war bloody depiction thing. And so the setting was there and the atmosphere is there, but it was just so like dead on the inside. This was the definition of just being like beautiful on the outside, but just absolutely nothing on the inside. It had no core about it. Like the Easter egg was not good. The wonder weapon was not good. The story was not good, but the map looked good. And that's about all you got out of it. And then at number 45, we have Blood of the Dead from Black Ops 4. Oh man. A lot of the people still debate on if Blood of the Dead is actually a good map or not. And I played Black Ops 4 right when it released, and I was playing Blood of the Dead with everybody else because that was the one map that everybody was super excited for. And it just left such a bad taste in my mouth with the release of BO4 being terrible and the Easter egg being super, super difficult. And it was just like unnecessarily difficult. Like, why do we need 42 locations to find a freaking bird? Not a casual zombies map at all, especially compared to Mob of the Dead, which was a difficult, but anybody could load into Mob of the Dead and figure it out in a game or two. Blood of the Dead, it was literally just meant for hardcore players. Like, if you're not a hardcore super Easter egg guy, there's no reason to play Blood of the Dead at all. Especially considering that they removed all of the good features about Mob of the Dead. They removed Afterlife, which was one of the best parts of Mob of the Dead, which replaced Quick Revive, which also gave you another perk slot. But BO4 perks are not... Okay. I don't want to go on a BO4 rant, because I could easily do that too. Blood of the Dead had an amazing story to it. It's just the process it took you to get there was not enjoyable at all. All right, number 44, we have Carrier from Advanced Warfare. Super forgettable map. I think this was DLC 3, and it was just like a facility map. It's like every Advanced Warfare map. It's just, oh, you're in this one little facility area. You have to kill all the zombies and escape. Yay. The Easter egg is lame, along with most of the Easter eggs in Advanced Warfare. Weapons are bad. Just the mechanics of Advanced Warfare are just not good, and this map just being kind of mid just did not help it at all. There are some like goofy little fun things about it. Like there's like a Plinko game where you can like throw a grenade and it'll like bounce around and you can get rewards for it. I think there's like a drunk mode where you can literally like consume alcohol and your character becomes drunk and it's like the screen gets all blurry and stuff like that. So that's pretty fun. And it's also one of the only zombies maps that has a dual spawn area. So if you go into this game in co-op, you will spawn on one side and then your friend will spawn on another side, and you can't get to each other until you both like get to the power. So that's cool too. And along the same lines of that is number 43, which is Descent. It's pretty much the exact same idea as Carrier. It's just a facility map, and it's got a little bit more features and a little bit more goofy fun things than the previous maps, but it just looks different. Like you go from being like on a ship to underwater. So that's pretty much it. Number 2, we have Farm from Black Ops 2. It's kind of whatever. It's one of those just kind of mid maps. It's just a survival map. It's better than Bus Depot because it has perks, so that automatically bumps it up like 10 places. It's pretty fun with friends. It's kind of chaos and hectic, and if you got 4 people in here trying to survive a farm, it can be pretty fun. But other than that, it's just kind of mid. At number 41, we have Outbreak from Exo Zombies, which was the first zombies map in Advanced Warfare. This was a good start to Advanced Warfare Zombies. I feel like this could have created something better for the mode, but the DLC just kind of flopped. Very bare bones, just the basic structure for how to make a zombies map, except this time there's exosuits. But the mechanics of AW are just still not good. The fact that you have to pack a punch 20-something times just to get a weapon that's still not going to take you past like round 40. The Easter egg was okay. It's the first exfil cutscene, actually, so cool. All right, number 40. This map is the reason why I've chose to make this video. I like to argue with people on the internet about Call of Duty Zombies maps, especially people that just think a map is good because they played it when they were 10 years old. And this is the one that I would usually argue the most about, and it's Transit. So number 40 is Transit. It's not a good map. You can never convince me that this map is good. Sure, you had fun in 2012 when you were 9 years old and you played with your older brother and he took the bus without you and you laughed, and sure, it's great memories and nostalgia, but that does not make the map good. I'm not going to carry on too long about it, but you know the basics about why the map isn't good. Terrible design, terrible map layout, the fog, just ridiculous. There's no point in it. The only reason the fog is there is so your Xbox 360 doesn't fly out of your window. The mechanics of these Victus maps and BO2 are also just not good. Only being able to carry one part at a time. Some of the buildables are just genuinely pointless. Like, there's no reason to build them at all. Only being able to carry one of them, and you pretty much need the turbine for everything. So once you have that, there's no reason to grab the shield or electric trap or the turret or anything else. The jet gun, absolute garbage. Just genuinely terrible. You have to find all the parts and build it just for it to break, and then you have to go find all of the parts again and then rebuild it. If you're playing on solo, getting Pack-a-Punch is genuinely a nightmare. You have to drop your turbine off at the power station and then run through the fog all the way to town and then throw a grenade at a door and hope that the turbine didn't break, because the zombies still go after the turbine even though you're 300 yards away from it. Just like, the idea was there, but just terrible mechanics, terrible map design, and it's not good. You will never convince me it's good. If you think it's good, then you're just bad at zombies. And then following that up with a map that is not much better, it's number 39, and it's Die Rise. Die Rise suffers from the exact same things as Transit does. It has a little bit better of a layout. I enjoyed the verticality of Die Rise. I think it's very interesting. It's very unique. There's no other zombies map that looks like Die Rise does. But to go along with that, you need to have things that assist you in verticality. Why is PhD Flopper not on this map? I have died on this map to fall damage and falling off the map more than the actual zombies itself. Why? This map came out and it literally made so many people want to quit zombies. And a lot of people left the community because BO2 was just so bad. Terrible start, terrible launch maps. It was not good. Die Rise, I hate you. And then following that up with another Black Ops 2 map is number 38, and it's Nuketown. Nuketown's not bad. You can't call Nuketown bad because it's literally just a survival map. But I think it's pointless. It literally did not need to be in the game. You already had maps like Town, you had Farm, you had Bus Depot, you had your survival maps. And then you had this like $5 DLC bonus map, which is pretty much the same thing as Town, where it's like, okay, you have your perks, you have your Pack-a-Punch, it's a couple of rooms, but the perks are random. I think random perk drop literally just ruined this map for me. If you could spawn into the map and all the perks were just already laid out, this map would probably be like 20 spots higher. It's a fun survival map, but just the idea of random perk drops is just so bad and so stupid. Like, I do not want to wait until round 25 to get Jug. And sure, you can say it's mad because bad, whatever, but it's just like, why would you want to do that? There was some good things out of it. The M27 was in this map. That's the only map that this gun was in, and it was really cool. So, yeah. Number 37, we have Groston House from World War II. This was like the second launch map that came with the game. It was just a small survival map, and it was actually pretty fun. I kind of enjoyed it. It's one of those things where, yeah, you can get Pack-a-Punch, which I think you just get Pack-a-Punch guns from the box. You can get perks. There's like their little version of like a Wonder Fizz machine. It's a super small map. You can play with a bunch of friends, and it's really hectic and chaos, and you can have fun with it, but I mean, it's nothing more than just a bare bones basic survival map. Then at number 36, going along with survival maps, we have Noctur on Toten. I can't say anything bad about this map. It is literally the very first zombies map of all time. Sure, it may be boring in today's standards of zombies maps, but this was the very first thing that ever came for zombies. If you didn't have this, you would not have anything else, so you can't rank it bad, but I also don't think you can rank it very high either. It's very boring, no perks, no pack-a-punch. You literally have a mystery box, a couple of wall guns, and then like 3 doors. And that's it. And then another survival map, number 35, we have Town. I actually like Town. I feel like this is getting into the tier of like decent maps. Like I could go back and play it. I wouldn't mind going back and playing them. They're still pretty fun today. And Town's like kind of it's just your all-around survival map. It has everything you need. You got your perks, you got your mystery box, you got your pack-a-punch, you've got your wall guns, you got open areas to train, you got a couple places to camp. Like when it comes to a survival map, it's literally all you need. And this map is literally what carried Black Ops 2 until Mom of the Dead came out, which is very sad. And at number 34, we have Togged or Toten from Black Ops 4. Now, I like TOG because I like Call of the Dead, and because it's Call of the Dead, I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I just like it by default. But the characters, I did not understand why we brought Victus back for Call of the Dead. It made 0 sense. And the fact that this was the last map in the Aether storyline, also very stupid. The wonder weapons were absolutely garbage. You had the thunder gun in there, which was good, but like the unique wonder weapons, like the tundra gun, and then like BO4's version of the wonder wall, they were like so bad. Very easy high rounds though. You can be a casual player, and you can, if you can get the thunder gun and get the Helion salvo, you can sit and get around 100 in like 2 hours. They also introduced Golden Pack-a-Punch, where it was just a different Pack-a-Punch machine that you only had to put it in one time for 5,000 points, and it would give you all of your abilities for it. It's pretty much what normal Pack-a-Punch is, without all the other stuff you have to do. And number 33, we have Voyage of Despair, also another map from Black Ops 4. This is technically the first map in BO4. The game launched with 4 maps at the start, but this is technically the first chronologically. And this map had so much potential to be absolutely amazing, but they genuinely found a way to make the Titanic boring. Like, I genuinely don't understand. They're going to put this crew on the Titanic, and instead of trying to save the ship from sinking and rewrite history, we're destroying planets. I just genuinely don't understand what was going through their mind when they were like, all right, we're going to set this map on the Titanic. It's gonna be a 1-for-1, but literally the Titanic still sinks. What was the point? It was still a very beautiful map though. Like the atmosphere of being on the Titanic is amazing. The wonder weapon was kind of mid. The Kraken, it was whatever. And then just a problem with BO4 in general, there's just too many boss zombies, too many different types of zombies running around. I did not like it. Then at number 32, we have Shaolin Shuffle from Infinite Warfare. This was DLC 2 in Infinite Warfare, and I genuinely like this map. I think this is a pretty just goofy, fun map that IW brought out. I think the setting is really nice, like the New York City 70s vibe I thought was really cool. The map's pretty fun. It's got like your kind of wacky and goofy things that happen in it, your goofy side quests. The wonder weapon is pretty cool. It's literally like you're just karate fist, which is really awesome. The only problem with this is just the Easter egg. It's stupid difficult. You have to do it to like get everything, and the boss fight's not fun, and it's sad because this map could have been super amazing, but I feel like the Easter egg just literally ruined it. Then at number 31, we are at the halfway mark, and this is Verrucht. I feel like Verrucht is a good map to put as just kind of your middle of the road map. It's the first map that introduced perks in World at War. It's super like scary. I love just how terrifying this map is. Really close quarters. It's super hectic and fun. It's hard to get high rounds, but it's still replayable in the sense that you always want to try to do better every time you play it. So yeah, Verrucht, middle of the road. I think this is a good spot for it. I love Verrucht, and I wish I could put it higher, but there's not much else to it to give me any reason to make it higher than this. And then at number 30, this is going to be a little bit controversial, but as somebody who was here and experienced this, I don't know if I can put it any higher than this, but it is Revelations. It's just such a disappointment. Such a disappointment ending to Black Ops 3. We got all these amazing maps in BO3 and this amazing story, and then just this ending was just awful. I don't think this map should have ever even came out. This map should not exist because this should have been the Great War map. But they put this in so they could have the Great War for BO4, but then it never came out in BO4, so there's just no purpose in it. And sure, it has a lot of fan service. It has all of the old maps in it, and everybody thought it was cool when it released, but then the Easter egg was super buggy. You're shooting rocks for half of it. It's just a very disappointing ending. High rounds are fun though. If you're a new player, I would recommend you playing Revelations if you want to get high rounds. You literally have some of the most like overpowered guns in the entire history of zombies in one map. So as it's not a bad map, I just cannot put it any higher than this. All right, and then at number 29, I have Raven the Redwoods. Raven the Redwoods was DLC 1 for Infinite Warfare, and coming off of Spaceland, it was a really, really cool map, and everybody was kind of hyped for it. I feel like with the reception that map had, everybody was looking forward to DLC 1, and it was okay, but it still just didn't live up to the hype. Still just coming off of the fact that we just had BO3 not too long ago and Zombies in Spaceland, the map was just, unless it was going to be just this amazing map, it kind of was designed to fail. They had a really nice atmosphere. I liked the I can't remember what the mode was called, where the lights, it was just super colorful and stuff like that, but I thought that looked pretty cool. And I love the 90s slasher the aesthetic. I think that's like a super cool idea for a zombies map. And it had a nice Easter egg, so it's just, once again, it's just kind of one of those middle of the road maps. At number 28, we actually have a Vanguard map that doesn't suck absolute balls. Shinonuma from Vanguard. It's okay. It's literally Shinonuma, but it has an Easter egg, so it helps it a little bit. It makes it a little bit better of a map, but just Vanguard's engine and just that whole zombies engine that they had just does not work for round-based zombies. So even though they tried and they did okay at it, it just didn't really work that well. I do like the Easter egg though. I like Shinonuma with an Easter egg. It's a short and simple kind of Easter egg, but I feel like it worked out pretty well and it wasn't too bad. Then at number 27, we have Liberty Falls from Black Ops 6. And this may be recency bias, but it's been a couple months since the game has come out, and I still think Liberty Falls is a really good map. For it pretty much being a glorified survival map with an Easter egg, I think it's super fun. It's super casual. If you just want to hop on zombies, go pack a punch, a gun or two, get all your perks, and just go to like round 40, it's literally the perfect map for that. It's got a fairly simple Easter egg along with directed mode that helps you through the Easter egg if you want to do it that way too. I think just the BO6 engine, which I was somebody who wasn't really a fan of like the Warzone implementations into zombies, but BO6 does it really well, I would say. So Liberty Falls is a good map. It's not a great map, but it serves its purpose. Then at number 26, we have D Machine, which was the launch map for Black Ops Cold War. And I really like D Machine. This was the map that I was pretty much playing all the way until Mauer Toten came out. So like 7 months into the game's life cycle, I was still playing this map. And it is really basic and it is really bare bones, especially coming off of the mess of like BO4 and the complexity. And we went back to this kind of very simple bare bones map. I think it was the perfect time for that to happen. There was a lot of streamers and people that didn't really play Call of Duty that were playing. I remember watching like Tfue get to like round 100 and stuff like that. And so it was just really cool to see these non-zombies streamers and YouTubers getting into zombies because of Cold War. And then this was the map that really like made us think that Cold War was just going to be this really good game, because we had a really good engine, the gameplay was super smooth, and the map was really good, but then the DLC just kind of meh. Then at number 25, we have Shinonuma from World at War. I'm pretty sure, other than Doris, this is the highest ranked World at War map. Amazing for high rounds. That's literally the only reason you go back and play Shinonuma. It's a fun map. It's got the introduction of Ultimus, and it kind of starts the storyline for zombies. But the only reason you would ever go back to World at War Shinonuma is to just get as high of a round as possible. You literally get a Wonderwaffe and PPSH or trench gun or just any kind of gun off the wall or in the box, and then you use the flogger and you use the other gun to kill the dogs, and just, you know how it goes. Really can't rank it any higher than this just because it is on the World at War engine, so it is really buggy. And because they fixed how the high rounds worked on the newer remasters of it, it kind of loses that like reason that you would play it, because it's like, who is going to play Black Ops 3 Shinonuma in 2025? Then number 24, we have the Final Reich, which was the launch map for Call of Duty World War II. And this is another one of those examples of a really good launch map that made us think that the rest of this game was going to be really good, and then the DLC just flopped. But I really do like the Final Reich. I thought it was really cool how they implemented the Easter egg where you had a casual mode and then a hard mode. So like any person who just plays zombies could easily just follow the notebook and you just do the casual Easter egg. And then once you learn the map and play it a couple more times, you then do the hard Easter egg, and that's where you kind of have the really difficult challenges of doing an Easter egg. The Wonder Weapon's pretty fun too, the Tesla Ray or whatever it was called. I liked it. And then I really liked the aesthetic of the Final Reich in World War II and how they were trying to do this gritty, like dirty type of map where it was old and just made you feel like war, but it wasn't ugly either. Because I feel like that's what World War II ended up doing. They took this grittiness and then just applied a bunch of gray and green filters, and it just made all the maps ugly. But I feel like the Final Reich had a little bit of color to it, and it did look really nice. Then at number 23, I have Terminus, which another kind of recency bias, but I really do like this map. I think once again with the BO6 engine, it just really helps elevate this map along with the map layout. The fact that you have this like one big island and you can just hop on a boat and just go to these other little islands too, like that is the only something that you could do in Black Ops 6. And the fact that they were able to do that type of layout where it's that really big map, but it's still round base and it feels like round base zombies. I think it's a really good map. It's got a fun Easter egg. The bosses are a little crazy, but I still think it's fun. The Wonder Weapon is okay. The Beam Smasher is nice, but I don't think it's as good as the Jet Gun is on Liberty Falls. So if it was a little bit better, a little bit more stronger, it would probably be a little bit higher up on the list, but I think this isn't a bad spot for it. The number 22, we have the highest rated Cold War map, and it's Mauert or Toten. This is definitely the best map in Cold War. Really nice gameplay, just again with that Cold War engine and just how smooth the game feels. Really cool Wonder Weapon. I think the Cerberus is really cool. You really only use like the base variant. I really never used like the other two that you could pick up off the ground, but just the base Cerberus was really fun to use. High rounds were fun on the game. The Easter egg was simple, but the boss fight had a little bit of a challenge to it, so it was easy leading up to it, and then you'd get into the boss fight, and that was really where you had your challenge. The map design is really nice. I know it is it comes out of the campaign, I'm pretty sure, but the flow of the map works really well, and Klaus is awesome. I love Klaus. He's probably one of the best like companions that you have in zombies, and I just think he's really fun to use, and yeah. And number 21, we have Classified from Black Ops 4. This is the 5 remastered, and it's 5, but worse. 5's already got a good layout, so it kind of just helped this map still be pretty good. It's nowhere near as good as 5 is, but I still think it's a fun map to play. But the problems of the BO4 engine, and it just doesn't really work with it. They took out the Pentagon Thief, so why? It's a fun map for high rounds, but the fact that the Easter egg is you have to get to round 150, that's stupid. Because I mean, like a casual zombies player could go into Classified and get to like round like 50 or 60 fairly easily, but asking for round 150, that's like 9 hours of game time. So that technically makes it the hardest Easter egg because you have to put in 9 hours worth of time just to solve it, which is ridiculous. And the fact that the Wonder Weapon's still pretty garbage, but nobody uses the Wonder Weapons in BO4. It's always just a Helion salvo. And here we are at number 20. I have Dead of the Night. I feel like that's going to be kind of controversial to people that didn't really play BO4, and just it's always people talk about how Dead of the Night is just this terrible map, which it's really not. It just had an awful launch. If we were talking about how a map launched, this map had the worst launch ever in history of Call of Duty Zombies. And I don't understand why this was. This was DLC 1 of Black Ops 4, the first map after we had 4 maps at the launch of the game, and like they didn't release a trailer for the map until like a day before the map came out. And there was a lot of people that didn't even know that the map had released either, which was it was so strange why they did that. And it's sad too because it's such a beautiful map. Like you can go in there and there's so many little like detailed side Easter eggs that you can do. The main quest is like super complicated, and if you're not like a hardcore zombies player, like it's not meant for casuals like at all. But the little side Easter eggs that you can do and just the amount of detail that they put in that map, it's so sad that they literally just killed it with the marketing. At number 19, we have 5. It's better than Classified. 5's a good map. It's got a good layout. I think the characters really is what makes 5 way better than Classified. The fact that you can play as the presidents and other world leaders at the time during Vietnam, I thought that was super fun. I always only wanted to play with JFK though, so like I was the guy that was sitting there restarting until I got JFK. The Pentagon Thief was a really interesting, and he was a hard boss, but not super annoying, like if you know how to manipulate and how to kill him, and that way you get the bonfire cell, which was one of the most interesting and probably one of the best power-ups of all time. The Wonder Weapon is absolute garbage though. The Winter's Howl, I don't know why that thing was created. It was terrible. Then right after 5 at number 18, we've got Kino der Toten. I really hold these maps, like if I'm gonna rank them, I pretty much always put these right next to each other because I feel like they're almost like brother and sister maps. Like you've got the one map that's the really casual and they're still kind of laid out very similar. It's a lot easier, and then you've got the difficult map, which it just helps them mesh together very well. I mean, Kino der Toten, it's the most iconic map of all time. It's the theater map. Like everybody knows what Kino is. It's a glorified World at War map. It's got your pack-a-punch. It's got your perks. It's simple layout, simple boss zombies, but I mean, it's Kino. It's super fun. You play it with friends. Everybody knows what Kino is, so yeah. And it introduced the Thunder Gun, which was also one of the most iconic Wonder Weapons of all time. All right, at number 17, we have the newest and most current zombie map at the time of me recording this, which is Citadel des Morts. And I think it's awesome at the fact that this map can be ranked this high, and you could probably rank it even higher too. Once again, the recency bias, we're gonna have to see how the other maps go and just how Black Ops 6 just progresses throughout the year, but I love this map. It's up there with one of the best DLC ones that we've ever had. It honestly could rival DE. I don't think it touches DE in just how nice the map is and how the Easter egg is, but it's so close to just getting into that great tier of zombies maps that I don't know. I think the swords are such a cool Wonder Weapon. I just wish they would buff them. I think they all could just use like an all-around buff to just make them better and make you want to use them more. But other than that, like there's not really much that I can say bad about this map. So yeah, right at this time, I feel like we're getting into the really good maps. They're not great, but they're like just on the edge of being just the iconic and great maps. And so I feel like to start that off at number 16, I have Moon. And a lot of people are probably going to find that controversial just because I know a lot of people love Moon and they say Moon is like top 5 zombies map of all time. The one thing that Moon does have, it is the greatest finale of any Call of Duty Zombies game ever. The fact that you're doing the Easter egg and then you just blow up the earth, and like at the time nobody else had any idea what was supposed to happen with Black Ops 2. It was so insane. It's a fun map. I love BO1. It just I don't know how they went from this like super beautiful map like Shangri-La and Kino with just how the detailed and how nice it looked for 2010 to this just gray black blob. BO3 Moon is absolutely beautiful though, and I love the map. It's just RNG is just one thing that I hate about it. The fact that the Easter egg is mostly just based on hitting the box, and so you could either have one of the quickest runs or it could literally take you 3 hours. And coming in at number 15, I have Ancient Evil from Black Ops 4. And see, a lot of people didn't even play Ancient Evil when it came out just because a lot of people had just given up on BO4 at this point. But I love this map. It's so good. I love the setting of just this like ancient time. I think it's in Delphi. So it's just like this ancient like Greek time. I don't even know, but I just think it's super cool. And then the Wonder Weapons are really cool. I think that the swords and the bows are like the best 3 of like the 4 elemental Wonder Weapons. I think the gauntlets are super cool. And I think this is one of the maps that actually uses the BO4 engine and it actually makes it make sense. And it's so sad too because at this point, this is when finally people started to care about the Chaos story, but because it wasn't received good in the first 2 maps and then Dead of the Night wasn't received good, that they just decided to end it here right when everybody got interested in it. So it's sad that we didn't get to continue Chaos, and then we got the garbage Ether, whatever the hell that was. And at number 14, I have Ascension from Black Ops 1. I love Ascension. I think it's a really good map. It's the very first Easter egg in Zombies history, and it kind of just really blew up the idea that there is a story behind everything that we're doing in this mode. I really enjoy the map layout. This map is actually in the campaign and in the multiplayer, so the fact that they can reuse that map but it still just works really well in Zombies just shows how good of a map design that it is. I like the lunar landers. I think they're a great way for transportation, and it just flows really well. And Ascension is the only map to introduce 2 perks in the one map itself. Because Ascension was the map that introduced PhD and Stamina Up, and there's been no other map in Zombies history that has introduced 2 new perks. The only real criticism that I have for Ascension is just the monkeys. I think in Black Ops 1, the monkeys are super annoying, but Black Ops 3 kind of fixed it, but I'm trying to really base these off the original maps, and if that's the case, the monkeys are super annoying in Black Ops 1, so I can't put it any higher than this. Then right after Ascension at number 13, I have Shangri-La. I used to be a very big Shangri-La hater back in the day. Even when Chronicles came out, other than the fact that the map looked nice, I just never really found an appeal to it. Yeah, Shangri-La is such a beautiful map, and it's like this really tight, like difficult map. It's hard, but it's still replayable, and after playing it more and more, that's when I just kind of grew a love for it. Trying to get high rounds and trying to do the Easter egg with friends, like it's still a really difficult map, but it was one of those maps that even though it was hard, I always found myself coming back to it to try to do better. You can't say that for a lot of Zombies maps. There's some maps that I've played where I literally play it 3 times and I'm just like, all right, this is just ridiculous. There's no reason for me to play this. But Shangri-La has just always been that map that I will always come back to just to always try to get a higher round or a faster run. So yeah, it's a lot better than I used to think it was. It's got one of the best wonder weapons ever in the baby gun, and then really cool bosses like the Shrieker and the Napalm Zombie, and just all around, it's just a really good map, really fun map, really challenging map, so yeah. Then at number 12, I have Zetsubo no Shima from Black Ops 3. This is one of those maps that I feel like aged really well over the last couple of years, especially since it had such a terrible launch. It was not received very well. It had a bunch of glitches and bugs that just, at the time, just almost made the map unplayable for some people. And then the fact that it came right after Drak, it was just like, I don't know what it was. Everybody was just expecting this to be some crazy map, especially with the way that they hyped it up, but it just didn't end up being what we thought it was going to be at the time. But it's still BO3. I still think it's an amazing Zombies map. The Easter egg's fun to do. It's got a really fun wonder weapon. I love the KT4. And the fact that the map actually does have a bunch of these bugs and glitches still in the game, but they're funny bugs and glitches. Like the fact that you can literally complete the entire Easter egg without killing a zombie. I'm not saying you should go and try and do that, but you can go watch Codename Pizza do it. And that's just insane that that's the only Zombies map in history that you can actually do that with. And the fact that this map is one of those maps that has 2 boss fights in it with the Mama Spider boss, and that's how that introduced the story of Widow's Wine and stuff like that. I thought that was such a cool feature. So yeah, Zetsubo has really grown on me over the past couple of years. In 2016, if you'd have asked me, I probably would have had it near the bottom because I was one of the people that did not like Zetsubo when it came out. But now the more that I've played it and the more that it's grown on me, I think it's an amazing Zombies map. And at number 11, I have the Giant. To me, the Giant is honestly what saved Black Ops 3. Not for me, personally. I was a Shadows of Evil lover. But majority of the community just did not really care for Shadows at the time. A lot of them thought it was too difficult. They just weren't ready for that kind of super, like, complicated Easter egg, flying tentacles, whatever. So the fact that you had this map to play too was super fun. It was how a lot of people were grinding levels and getting camos and stuff like that. And it's literally just Doris. It's Doris with Gobblegums and AATs, and I just think it's a super fun map. You can't rank it bad because it's literally Doris, so... And along with that, cracking the top 10, I have Doris from World at War. There's so much innovation in this map, especially for 2009. The fact that this map introduced Pack-a-Punch, it had the first kind of like little Easter egg with the fly trap. It introduced the teleporter system to unlock the Pack-a-Punch, and it was super cool, super fun. It's one of the best, probably the best co-op map to play with your friends. Camping on the catwalk with friends, like everybody and their mother has done it. Then at number 9, I have Buried. To me, Buried is a super underrated map just because of it being in BO2 and it being the last Victus map. A lot of people didn't really like it at the time, but I always loved Buried. It introduced things like perma perks, the time bomb, and the ray gun Mark II, which is probably almost just as iconic as the ray gun itself. You see the ray gun Mark II everywhere in zombies. And to me, I think Leroy is the best companion that you can have in zombies. The fact that they were able to code some of the things that he does all the way back in 2013 on the Xbox 360, it just shows like that some of the minds at Treyarch that were not Jimmy Zielinski actually had brains and had ideas and were able to innovate. And so it just helped this map just be amazing. It had the very first super Easter egg ending with Black Ops 2, and even though it didn't have anything crazy like a big boss fight or anything like that, if you go through and you play all the maps to do the super Easter egg, it is still pretty fun. You can do it with friends, or you can put mods on BO2 on PC and you're able to do it solo. And the fact that Buried has a really casual side that can play the map, and it still has the hardcore ability too. Because for the low rounds, it's super easy. Like anybody can go onto Buried and get to round 30, get to round 40, and then they always talk about, oh, this is the easiest map ever. But then once you start getting into the higher rounds, if you're trying to go for round 100 and you get into the 70s and the 80s, it is really hard, and you just have to be perfect in your kind of routine of using traps and stuff like that. So it pretty much has a little bit of everything for everybody. And then at number 8, I have Call of the Dead from Black Ops 1. Call of the Dead is personally probably one of my favorite maps of all time. I'm trying to be a little bit objective here, so I more than likely would have put it higher on my own personal list, but Call of the Dead is such a fun map. Has super fun celebrity characters. I think that they all have at least a little bit of a meaning and a purpose in being in the game. It's the very first Easter egg that you could do solo, so I've done it so many times. It ended up having a really, really cool wonder weapon and then a really terrible wonder weapon. The only thing that I wish is if they actually buffed the scavenger to do damage past round 40, and if it would have been either an infinite damage wonder weapon or if it just extended into like the 60s or the 70s, it could have just made it so much better. And personally, I think that Call of the Dead has one of the best map layouts and best travel systems in any zombies map ever. It's super easy to get around. You literally have zip lines everywhere. You've got like slingshot traps, whatever they're called. Like anywhere you want to go on the map, it's super accessible. You can get there very quickly, even though you have the ice and the water and the fog. Like it just doesn't hinder the map whatsoever. And then of course you have the father of zombies himself, George Romero, and like you can't say anything bad about that. Like that is one of the coolest features that you could have in a zombies map ever. And sure, he may get a little annoying and tedious, but just working around him, the fact that he gives you a Wonder Waff, he gives you a perk, I don't know. I love Call of the Dead. Then at number 7, I have 9 from Black Ops 4. 9, to me, is the best Black Ops 4 map. It uses the Black Ops 4 engine perfectly. I feel like this map is literally what this engine was made for. The whole Black Ops 4 system, every single part of it that we all complain about and just how bad it is with every other map, just absolutely works perfectly in this map. And the crazy thing is that this map was probably the least popular map out of all of the launch maps whenever we first got introduced to them. A lot of people were more excited for maps like Voyage and Blood and Classified, and nobody really cared for 9 that much. But it's such a fun map, super fun Easter egg. I love the spawn area. It's got a great spawn to be able to train zombies in. Boss fight is super fun too. Nice and bright and colorful. Just, it's such a great map. I love that map so much. That's the one map that I could always go back to. If I just decided to go play BO4 for some reason, that's always the map that I'm going to play. And coming in at number 6, I have Garad Crovey from Black Ops 3. And I know a lot of people like to have this a lot higher on the list. Some people even have it lower. Just some people don't really like it. But to me, Garad Crovey is one of the most like near perfect maps that we've ever had. It's got the best boss fight out of any Treyarch Zombies map. The Nikolai boss and then the Dragon boss at the same time. Super fun, super insane and hectic. It's so good. And I love the Easter egg. It works so well with the gameplay, and the fact that you don't have to go do these stupid like extra side quests. You don't have to go in these other random locations to get parts or anything. Like every single part of this Easter egg, it works perfectly with the gameplay. And it's just, I don't know why they didn't just take that same system and put it into other maps, but it just works so perfectly in Garage. And that's how it's able to be this very difficult map, but as soon as you master it, like it's not hard to learn, and then once you learn it, it becomes super easy. It's really repetitive, you can do it a lot, it's repeatable, and I don't know, just Garage is amazing. You got the Raygun Mark III, reintroduced the PPSH. Like, there's literally videos of people reacting to the PPSH coming back that just had millions of views. Like, the fact that just one gun can create this much hype around a map, like, how can you not say that it's one of the best maps? All right, we have made it to the top 5, and there's probably going to be some people that are going to be super confused about why that I have this here, but the real ones know that this is one of the best zombies map of all time. Coming in at number 5, we have Zombies in Spaceland. This is definitively, you cannot argue with me, like, it's the absolute best non-Treyarch zombies map ever, and it's not even close. Lee Ross cooked so hard with this map, and just with the setting of an amusement park in the 1980s and just the clowns running around, like the setting, it's so much fun. The fact that it took us this long to get an amusement park map, I don't understand why it took this long. It's got a super fun and easy Easter egg, and it has a very difficult boss fight, so it's one of those things where anybody can do the Easter egg, and then you have the actual challenge of doing the boss itself. And then it actually scales with the amount of players that you have. So if you've got 4 players, you've got like 4 bosses to kill, or 4 times the amount of bosses that you have to kill. And it's super hard, but it makes you want to come back and play it every single time. I love the gameplay of Infinite Warfare. This was such an amazing launch map. I hate how just the DLC just progressively just got worse and worse and worse, but the way that they implemented the Fate and Fortune cards and stuff like that was so fun. It was really cool. Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about Spaceland at all. The only thing I could say is probably the wonder weapons are a little weak, but I mean, that's literally the only bad thing that I can say about this map. All right, coming into number 4, these last 4 maps, they have been considered as like the 4 horsemen of zombies. They're very interchangeable. This is just what I feel about them right now. Like, I could change this list like tomorrow. These 4 are always going to be in this 1 through 4 spot, and super interchangeable. I don't know, but at number 4, I've got Mob of the Dead. This map is single-handedly saved Black Ops 2 and pretty much saved the entire zombies community when it came out. So many people were really close to leaving zombies, and a lot of people did leave the zombies community during Transit, Die Rise, but this map just, it cooked, dude. Jason Blundell was on something different. Best non-main 4 characters in a zombies map ever, with the 4 prisoners, and just the story that this map created. Like, this map, it shouldn't even be Call of Duty Zombies. The fact that this map and has all this story is in just this random other universe of different maps. You could make your own game with just this zombies map. It fixed a lot of the issues that were in Black Ops 2, especially like with the part system, but now you're able to grab multiple parts. You don't have to just carry one at a time. A lot easier wonder weapon to build. The buildables actually made sense in this map. You get to build the plane, you fly to the Golden Gate Bridge. Brutus is a really cool boss. I think that's probably one of the best zombie bosses of all time. It's got a fun, easy Easter egg. You can do it solo, you can do it co-op. You get the full experience when you do it co-op, but you can still do it solo. And I just think it's a super fun map. Mob of the Dead, it's perfect. It's like all of these next 4 maps are literally perfect maps, and it literally is just how you feel on the day if you like one over the other. But I don't know, Mob of the Dead is absolutely amazing. And then coming in at number 3, normally this would be my number 1. I said for years, ever since it came out, this was the greatest zombies map of all time. It wasn't until probably about a year or 2 ago that I actually like changed my mind about how I felt. But coming in at number 3 is Der Eisendrache from Black Ops 3. Everybody knows this map. Everybody has seen this map. The greatest DLC one that we have ever had in Zombies history. This map is pretty much a simplified Origins. If you thought that Origins was too difficult and you just couldn't really do it, you literally have Horizon Drac right here, and it's pretty much the same concept and the same format, but it makes it a lot easier. It takes away a lot of the annoying steps that Origins does have. I could go on and on about how good Horizon Drac is. I have done that Easter egg so many times. It introduced the very first boss fight into Call of Duty Zombies, which is always cool, even though it is literally the most like basic boss that you could have. I love the bows. I do think the stabs are better, but building the bows is super fun. Upgrading them, it's just, man, I can go on and on about this map. I'm probably going to make a whole separate video about these 4 maps just so I don't make this section like an hour long in itself. So coming in at number 2, I have Origins from Black Ops 2. I was somebody who didn't really like Origins when it came out. I was the kid who thought it was too hard and too difficult, and I didn't really understand it. But over time, I finally learned it, especially when Black Ops 3 came out and we were moving into that period of the more story-driven maps. I finally went back to Origins and I learned it, and I had so much love for this map after that. This is the BO2 Zombies map. To me, this defines Black Ops 2 Zombies. When a map can genuinely leave me speechless for just how much stuff that it has and how replayable it is, it's such a good map. This map is infinitely replayable. You could play this map 10 years ago, you could play it 10 years from now. You can always find something to do. You can speed run the Easter egg. You always find new little tips and tricks about it, new little Easter eggs. It's just, man, I don't know. It's Origins, dude. It's Origins. You got the very first group of 4 kind of wonder weapons, the elemental wonder weapons and the staves. Yeah, I gotta stop myself. I'm over here like smiling and cheesing over Zombies maps. This is bad. All right, and coming in at the number 1 spot, this is, in my opinion, the greatest Zombies map that has ever been made. I know a couple people that agree with me. I know a lot of people that honestly think this map is terrible. But to me, personally, I think that Shadows of Evil is the greatest Zombies map that has ever been created. This is the most beautiful and just the greatest atmosphere in a Zombies map ever. And I do not think that it will ever be topped. I don't know what they were on in 2015, but I don't know, man. This map is so beautiful. It's so detailed too. You can walk around this map and just even like a little corner in the side of a building, you can just see all the details like on papers and newspaper clippings and just little scratches on the wall and just things that are just super like realistic and they're lifelike. And the fact that they were able to do this 10 years ago, it's insane. This map has the greatest wonder weapon of all time. The Apothecant Servant is literally a ginormous alien that shoots a black hole and just sucks in all of the zombies. How do you top that? And the fact that it has that and it has a freaking super death flaming sword that you can also upgrade, and it makes it even better. It has an amazing map layout. I love the district system and the fact that it's really big, but it's still easily accessible. You can traverse it really easily with the tram, and it's so awesome. It's also kind of comparable to Origins, where you have the pods that are kind of like the dig up sites, and it just takes all of the best things from previous Zombies map and just wraps it up into this one amazing package of zombies. And it's crazy to me that there was a time where people literally hated this map. When this map came out, not a lot of people liked it. I was one of the people that loved Shadows of Evil. Like, I can remember loading into this map for the first time and just hearing all of the sounds. Is probably the best soundtrack in Zombies history. Like the round changing sound and snakeskin boots. Like, you cannot tell me that this does not have the best music in Zombies history. This is Treyarch's baby. This is the map that they put the most time and effort into, and it clearly shows that when they really want to try with a map and they're really passionate about making a Zombies map, that they will deliver 100%. Has a super fun Easter egg. It's sad that you can only do it in co-op. You can't complete it in solo. I wish they would have added that in, but there are mods that you can do that you're able to do it solo. So yeah, it's my favorite map of all time. It's some other people that I know it's their favorite map of all time. This list of 4, you can easily interchange it. Like Dryzen Drac used to be my number 1 and Shadows used to be my number 2, but just over the years I've played more and more Shadows of Evil, and I've just realized just how detailed and how beautiful and how amazing that this map is. So yeah, that's it. This is a super long video, and I hope that you sat through all of it. And if you did, and you made it to the end of this, thank you so much. I love Call of Duty Zombies. I'm always willing to talk about it. I'm always willing to play it. I'm hoping to go back and play all the maps from Nocturne Toten all the way until Black Ops 6, and then I want to do a re-ranking video. That way I can see like how my opinion changes after recently playing a lot of the maps, because there were some of these maps that I have not played in probably 4 or 5 years that I do need to go back and play again to give a proper rating. But yeah, this is my definitive, ultimate, only correct list on the internet of Call of Duty Zombies map. Yep. Let me know in the comments if there was anything in the list that you would change, if you agree or if you disagree. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go watch another video, please. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.